Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I have one of those gameplays that even left me speechless, and it was sent to me by Spoodermen in his German Panther. And he is going for it in this game, and it is always interesting to observe other players. How do they play? Which tactics do they use? Which strategies do they use? And how aggressive do they play? Are they campers? Or are they really going for it? Spooderman is so going for it. And this is one of those matches that even will leave one hell of an impression with you guys. And we all can learn quite a bit about how to be an ice cold-blooded bastard. Because that gameplay, that was something... Wow, that was really cool. That was really cool. And he didn't use any sort of dirty tactics except being where the enemy didn't really expect him. And that is always a legit tactic. And no, he's not even going near the spawn. So I think it's not 100% flawless, but this is one hell of a dramatic gameplay. Now this map, the Sinai map, this iteration in particular, is just one of those maps where I have very often really great games and memorable games. And I have absolutely no why. Because there is the central plateau, there is also some flanking opportunities, and in this iteration, which is the one that I like the most, there are 3 caps. First custom of the day is a challenger, which is not pretty challenging to kill, because he took his time to aim properly above the rock, but still relatively low on the turret. Really important to get the one-shot kill. And so that is now very important. And now he spots a Jumbo Sherman and punches clean through the upper frontal plate, which is more or less impenetrable for the likes of a Tiger. And now he saw the M18 behind the tent, and he goes for the central shot. And sadly, that was not a one-shot kill. And then he shows discipline. He tries to gun down the commander, but then when the shot is reloaded, he immediately goes for the central shot. And that's already his 3rd kill. Now you might say, 3 minutes, 3 kills, can he keep that up? Yeah, by bouncing the QF 3.7 Ram's, well, what is it, 94mm gun? And he gunned down the crew again that stood in the open, and the Ram helped him actually by wiggling in the tack of the machine gun, which is nice. You have to appreciate it. And that's already 4 kills. So a kill every minute? The replay shows 21 minutes. And that was one hell of a beautiful, well-aimed shot on that enemy Cheeto. And then he immediately spots the M6A1, and again he takes his time to take the shot, and he aimed for the angled front plate, which was flat towards him because the tank was angled towards him, which is confusing. He spots in third-person view some enemy tanks that try to overroll his team, and then he focuses on the M4A1, gets a lucky ammo rack detonation, and then focuses again with the machine gun, shooting into the ground, not alerting the enemy, and making a well-aimed shot. And now watch this. He sees the damage that the turret ring is jammed, so he focuses on yet another QF 3.7 Ram, and again whittles down the crew with the machine gun. And now which kill should he get first? He can't decide. Well, this time he goes for the Sherman, just for the sake of it, and now he hears some tanks behind it. Now he has been behind the front line, if you will, and so this was more or less inevitable. He spots the Centurion Mark 1, takes a pot shot, but sadly no luck, and now watch this daring gameplay. I wouldn't do this after 8 kills already, in 5 minutes. He sees 2 tanks, the Challenger and then an M4A3, and he fires on the move because he doesn't stop at this short distance on flat terrain. He gets in his 9th kill. But that Challenger proved too much of a challenge for the double ace, and he actually escapes. The first aircraft are in the air, and now he hears some tanks nearby. And that might be one bad shot, because he didn't kill here the Centurion Mark 1, which now got alerted to his presence. Centurion Mark 1 is one tricky tank, but the Chaffee isn't. And he spotted the tracks, or whatever you say, through the smoke. And now watch this. Watch this. This is so cold-blooded. He sees that the Jumbo didn't see him, and he waited for him to turn. And the M18 didn't expect him and just runs for it. He again observes the ridgelines. Very well played. And that shot went too low again on the Centurion Mark 1. He popped some smoke, a single smoke shell, but now the Centurion got alerted and pinpoints his location with the machine gun. He knows he's there. The smoke screen isn't actually not complete, sadly, and he gets double shot into the back of the turret and the engine. He's on fire, and there is nothing that he can do. And so they double teamed him, and he is now dead after 11 kills. That's a double ace plus 1. That's amazing, especially for that time. So that is already one hell of a result for any of us out there if we're not in a dedicated SEAL Club tank. Now, for getting such results, you always have to have a team that's not steamrolling the enemy, but the enemy team not outright steamrolling your team. And so the equilibrium between the spawn points on both teams have to be somewhat in such a way that both your team and the enemy team can respawn while you farm the kills. Great positional, a knowledge about the game mechanics, situational awareness and such things, together with a little bit of luck, have to be the combination of choice. It's obviously pretty difficult to get luck or good situations all the time, but you know, skill is nothing but constant luck, right? And he goes for it. He spawned now in another Panther, and this time I think it's the Panther A after the Panther D. I'm not 100% sure. He has some markings on the side of the tank. 522 on this side, and on the other side 322. No idea what the meaning of this is, but it's a gorgeous looking tank, I give it that. So obviously we have the advantage of seeing the markers. Now the team is actually capturing A, and he now secured C, staying at least temporarily on his side, captured by his team. 12th kill, that's a dozen already. This would be one hell of a gameplay for me to feature from my own gameplay, right? But he's not done yet, let me tell you that. And again, he's observing the ridgeline. He tries to help his team out, getting easy side shots into the enemy. And again, he's only taking on this tank APCBC rounds, no HE rounds whatsoever. Because of the lack of heavy machine guns on most of German tanks, I would always take some HE shells with you when you cannot really get the when you can't get the hull break on enemy potato trucks. And again, he's machine gunning down one of those tents, again in such a way that the enemy team doesn't really get alerted to his presence. And then he sees the Cheery 2, and that is one hell of a beautiful shot through the tent into the side of the enemy tank, disabling both the transmission and the turret crew. He waits for the reload and then finishes him off for kill number 13. Now, he must not be in a hurry here, because, you know, the enemy tanks can be everywhere. And now C gets contested. And there are even more planes in the air. Now, this is pretty tricky. Where are the enemy tanks? And there is an Avenger. And no, he didn't pen here the upper frontal glacis, and the Avenger actually goes behind the oil bunker and is in safety. Actually, the oil bunker is one of those rare things in a capture point that you can't destroy, and that actually provides useful cover in general. And so that's a little bit of a bad luck here. But again, he tries to go now for B. He's looking everywhere, He tries to scout for the enemy, or for himself, where the enemy is. And the Avenger still has not come out. What to do in such a situation? Now he spots the M4A3, and he also shot. He tries to shoot him, but he instead hits the pipe. Gladly, the M4A3 was not alerted to his presence, and so this shot is kill number 14. Easy. Just be at the right position at the right time and you get the world's easiest side shots, right? Yeah. If we only could plan such happenings all the time. And now watch this. He spots the Avenger and shoots the back. But sadly, that was not a fire yet. So he aims just a few pixels more to the right and he trusts the precision of his gun, and now there is a fire. Now there is a fire on the enemy Avenger, and he follows it up, but sadly no fire this time. And a fourth shot for the second fire. Now he has to let him burn for a while, because the fire extinguisher has to come off cooldown. Sorry about this. And he sets him on fire here for the third time. Now he actually bailed out, giving him his triple ace. His triple ace in 12 minutes. That is quite impressive. And C is now in theory free. But I think that if you look at the minimap, the blue team, has a more difficult time to get into C because they have to travel quite a distance over the open, whereas the southern team has a few more sniping positions available for them. B is still in possession of his team. There are some more aircraft coming in. P1Y1, probably with a single big bomb. 800 kilogram, if I'm not mistaken. And again, he's going behind the front line. He's the most forward tank on his team. And again, look at this. He hears enemy tanks and he stops. And just as mentioned, the M19 comes and he again shoots the transmission. He kills him with the machine gun for his 16th kill, which was very important because if he had to sacrifice yet another shot, the Cheetolate could have come out and take a shot at his weak spots. The next scene is also really nice. And again, he brings the fight to the enemy. He doesn't really wait for anybody to come close, except if it is a short-term ambush. He aims for the lower glacis and he gets the transmission. And now watch this. He's actually side scraping and he tries to aim for the mid plating. First shot goes through, kills half the crew. And then he reverses a bit more, a few pixels more to the right. And he kills him. 17 kills now. In less than 14 minutes. B got now decapped. And so he knows that something is in there. And there is the M16. He sees him. And that's an easy shot if he gets the hull break. Yeah. Kill number 18. You see, the enemy team is already spawning more and more SPA, so that makes it easy for a Panther that actually has some considerable armor. And now the next scene that is memorable, he sees actually the Comet 1, he sees also the Jumbo, and just before he takes the shot at the Jumbo, he sees again the Comet prioritizes him before he can get back into cover, because the Comet might have also seen where the shot for the kill on the Jumbo might have come from. So great prioritization because the Jumbo was also distracted with the rest of his team. And again, easy side shot. And believe it or not, that's 20 kills. 20 kills in less than 15 minutes. That's a quadruple ace technically. And that is absolutely crazy. And now, Spoodermen goes for the first capture point. Mate, I'm more than impressed with the sheer luck, but also the cold-blooded behavior of yourself. That is absolutely crazy. It is absolutely fun to watch this replay now for the third or fourth time. And so when I actually recorded this, when recording this, I very often decide whether I feature it or not, because for the first viewing I also record it. It saves a bit of time. And even after the first few minutes, I knew I will feature that one. So now he has captured B, and the question is, now where does the next enemy come from? He has already 20 kills and 1 kill assist and 1 cap. And you know what? Make that a not so challenging 21. My hands would be shaky as all hell right now with 21 kills. I cannot remember ever having achieved such a result, outside from probably some dedicated seal clubbing tanks. And even in those tanks, it is pretty difficult to achieve. Why? Because there must be a fine equilibrium in terms of spawn points between your team and the enemy team. Neither team must steamroll the other one, and there must be one tank that mustn't get killed all that often, but must farm so many tanks. And 20 is just absolutely crazy. Even in the best battles, I cannot remember exceeding 12 kills all that often. And you know what? Chaos doesn't count. And I also would have not seen the Japanese tiger here. Sadly, the shell doesn't go through, but he angles early enough, and he takes actually also a second shot, which misses. The Hellcat uses this opportunity, he blinds him with the machine gun and actually manages to bounce the Hellcat's shot. He pops smoke, and you know, what works for you also works for the enemy. And the Hellcat is considerably faster than the M24 Chaffee, and he out-traverses easily, this time Spoodermen. After 21 kills, he has to respawn for the 3rd time. While the Hellcat is capturing and Spooderman is respawning, let's have a brief look at the points. So the point advantage is firmly in his team's hand, and also the tickets of the enemy team are still bleeding up until the point that, as I said, the Hellcat will capture it. Believe it or not, Spooderman is spawning for the 3rd time in a Panther, and again he's going for it. So the Comet 1 killed just a Whirlwind in C, and now both German SPA are dead. So double strike by the Comet, and he sees him, but he whiffs the shot. It falls short, and he's really annoyed by himself. You see it with the mouse jiggling there. He has a second chance, and then he again aims way too low. A few pixels too low. God damn it. And now the Comet is actually capturing C, which is bad news because now his team's ticket are bleeding off and there is not much that he can actually do. He spots the Soki just a few seconds too late. His team, the other flank, has trouble securing A. They actually have trouble with the heavy tank number 6 scoring his 9th kill on the enemy team, and that was the same guy that Spooderman couldn't kill. He whiffs the shot on the Comet 1 and disaster, his gunner gets knocked out. And that is really bad news. He tries to move and to wiggle his tank, but that was a neck shot, quite literally. The turret ring is now jammed. The Soki is adding insult to injury, and he gets finally finished off for the 3rd time, in this case by the Comet 1. So the situation is now looking really, really bad. And believe it or not, he has to spawn for his team for the 4th time. And I highly appreciate that he has not used a plane forecast, because that would be awful and he then would have no chance whatsoever to secure anything. The Comet keeps on killing and actually scores his 12th kill. And so Spooderman decides to just simply go through a bit more a central position, trying to get some side shots into C. So that's actually really some killing fields the way from his spawn to C. And talking about killing fields, is that the enemy Centurion Mark 1 from earlier that now tries to probably spawn camp? I think so. And again, look how aggressively he goes for it. And he sees that he has the turret pointed the other way. And that's one hell of a beautiful explosion for kill number 22. And he also notices the M18. Great situational awareness. Sadly, the M18 just could disappear behind a rock a split second too early. And now watch this. He sees the Comet Mark 1 and look at how quickly the ticket bleed at the end is. Now he doesn't see the Comet 1. That is pretty difficult to spot. Now he sees him. He has the first shot, but disaster. It bounces off. the lower lip of the turret, which is thick and well angled. So that's one of the few spots where he can not really go through. And again, the Comet shows some steel nerfs. He is again taking out the gunner. This time he wiggles and lets the shell not do that much damage. Now he aims for the hull and hits actually the turret and knocks out the turret crew, but the Comet is popping smoke and he's reversing. Again, Spoodermen tries to use his machine gun that has served him very well this game, and he actually sets the Comet on fire. Beautiful shot. The problem is the gunner got back, and look at the points. Oh no, disaster. So he can't win anymore because he had to contest all 3 caps now. And so that was the last shot, and sadly it was not the killing shot. With a bit more time he probably could have killed that Comet Mark 1 and also the Soki, but that was the end of this heartbreaking monster game. 22 kills, 1 kill assist, 1 cap, and he tried everything, he gave everything, and sadly it was not enough. That is a true heartbreaker. Thank you, Spooderman, for sending in that replay. I'd wish that you have also attached the post-battle result screens. Sadly, he didn't do this, but thank you for sending in it. That was one hell of gameplay. I don't know what to say anymore, and that is really a downer. On the other hand, we could learn quite a lot from this gameplay, and it was so many kills, so much action, and so much skill shown, situational awareness, very aggressive gameplay. I love this gameplay. Again, thank you. And that's it for me today as well. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope that you liked this video, and let me know in the comment section what should have been made different, or if you have ever had such a result. And now for me, there is nothing left to say aside from please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and as usual we'll see each other in the skies, on the waves, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.